When you step to me, make sure you got your strap tight. You a bitch, so is that nigga that you act like. Don't want smoke, I ain't gonna fight. I don't want this gold up on my wrist, I want them diamonds on me glistening. If you ain't talking money, motherfucker, I ain't listening. Niggas gotta die to get some fucking recognition. You don't get respect if you ain't toting no piston, nigga, listen. We both bleed, but we ain't the same. I know real shooters can't be fucking with no lane. Yeah, you want the money and I know you want the fame, but you can't have that shit if you don't even know the game. I'm just saying, call me to the boss, you the middleman.
Hey y'all, welcome back to another Poly Daily Talk. As y'all can see, I'm alone right now. I'm not home right now. And this is going to be a little different from the normal Poly Daily Talks because I'm obviously doing it by myself. And the reason is because, I don't know, I just wanted to post something. Steph worked last night, so she's sleeping. Rose and Mazea had to go handle some stuff. So, I just came back from the gym and I don't know, I had some things on my mind that I wanted to talk about just to give y'all some content or whatever because we haven't been doing Poly Daily Talks lately. The sit down videos are like the coolest, you know what I'm saying? Because we kind of get to like get some stuff out. Sometimes it's good, it's therapeutic. Sometimes we have like opinions or like topics that we want to hear other perspectives on and stuff like that. I don't have anything specific right now, but I'm just gonna kind of go with the flow. I just want to get some content out for y'all. I want some more interactions. I want some more, like, I want to really get to know y'all, really get y'all perspectives on certain situations. Stay in tune with like our supporters and stuff. What is today's Poly Daily Talk gonna be about? I don't know. I mean, just life, period. And I just want to touch bases on a couple things. I woke up this morning. I had made a post on Instagram. I really hope the wind is not messing with this video, and I really hope I can post it. I'm trying to talk loud, but I'm in public, so people are probably like, what the fuck? But we're getting mics soon, so it'll be a lot easier to like record in public and have like good quality videos. This morning I was going through my page and stuff, kind of like deleting and fixing around my page, and I came across a few comments. A lot of people speak on Poly. You know, we have a lot of people who support us. We have a lot of people who fuck with us, who like, you know, love what we're doing. We have a lot of people who also want to be in a Poly, so they kind of look up to like, you know, everything that we post on social media and stuff like that. What I love about us having a YouTube channel is that you guys get to see like the real, raw, like what it's like to be in a Poly. Don't get me wrong, it's not always good, you know what I'm saying? And that goes for poly relationships, for monogamous relationships. Like it's not all like glitz and glamour all the time, you know what I'm saying? Like we have our fights, we have our problems, but at the end of the day, just like anybody in any type of relationship, whether it's poly or monogamous, you work through it together and you get through it, you know what I'm saying? We're normal people. Like, we're normal people. We go through real life situations. Everything that you see on Instagram is real. You know what I'm saying? We really love each other. We really have the time of our lives together. Like, we're really like this. But also really have things that we have to work on individually as human beings, together as a couple. Reasons that we don't post the bad or like, you know, everything that goes on in our relationship. First is because I don't think you should do that whether you're a monogamous or a poly, whether you have the spotlight or nobody knows who you are. I don't think that you should put your entire business on a platform because people will form their own opinions on you and your relationship. And that's going to happen regardless. Like as an individual, as a couple, whether you put your business out there or, you know, you're more introvert and you stay out the way, people are going to have their opinions on you regardless. Babe had made this post about us getting our scooters. Somebody was in the comment section basically saying like, one scooter, you be flexing like this, that, and the third. And it was so funny to me because a lot of people, and I don't even think it was a troll page. I don't think it was anything. I genuinely think that was that girl's page. And she really felt like she did something. She really felt like she did her big one when she commented that on the thing. And she thought that people was really going to be like, yeah, you're right. Da-da-da-da. Like, babe, babe, relax. Like, who are you? You know what I'm saying? Like, people will make it like, oh, you're this and you're that, and like they think that we think so big of ourselves when we're just normal people. You know what I'm saying? Y'all think so big of us. That's the problem. Oh, they got this many followers and this, that, and the third. They think they're the shit, and it's like, who do you think we the shit? Like, you feel me? Because we just posted and going on with our lives. You know what I'm saying? We just making money off social media and living life in the real world. Like, this is our real life. You feel me? So a lot of people just come up on Instagram and to just talk about things that they don't know about. And don't get me wrong, a lot of times I respond to hate with grace. People are not really educated in like a poly lifestyle. This isn't like, at least in America, what we were taught. It's not really what American people glamorize when it comes to family and relationships. And you really have to like dig deep into why that is. The government really tries to separate us as people. As much as they talk about unity, a lot of the things that the government pours into our communities and into our education system, everything as a whole. I don't think people realize like there's more to life outside of what we were taught growing up, especially like things that was passed down from our parents and our grandparents and our great-great-grandparents and our great-great-great-great-grandparents, that they can't step outside of themselves and outside of what they already know. You dig deep into why we are the way that we are. When we get negative comments and responses to like our posts and stuff like that, me personally, I try to handle it with grace, and like educate the haters. You know what I'm saying? Whether it works, it works. Whether it doesn't, it doesn't. But 9 times out of 10, the responses that I receive from my rebuttals are like, damn, I didn't think about it like that. Or they kind of just make an ass out of themselves with like defending their own personal beliefs. And don't get me wrong, I am not against monogamy. I am not against anybody who wouldn't be poly, you know what I'm saying? And I don't think that everybody is made to be in a poly relationship. However, I think that what is for everybody is being able to evolve and understand other human beings. I feel like you can judge somebody when you are educated yourself, because 9 times out of 10, you can't really go against anything that I say, because what I be saying be true. You know what I'm saying? What I be saying be true. If it doesn't align with your beliefs, that's one thing. But you can't really go against something that's real. If you get Babe on a bad day, he's on full attack mode. And I understand to an extent, because a lot of people like to attack the man and make it seem like we were like manipulated into the situation, or we have no choice. Like, let me just put it out there now, and I know we say it all the time, but like, we literally choose to be here. Like, we literally love it here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we choose to be with the people that we fuck with, the people that support us. And whether it's in a romantic sense or in a sisterly, like, friendship, sister-wife sense, you know what I'm saying? Regardless of, we still care about each other at the end of the day, and we are here for each other. Trust me. We don't put all our business out on social media, but there's definitely times in relationships where it's like, if you want to go, you can go. We love each other, and we have the same vision. We genuinely want the same and want the best for each other. So people who have this narrative that like we're not happy with ourselves, or like we can't just get up and go find another man. Come on, like come on. Me, Rose, Steph, Tatum, like, this is not what I feel. This is a fact. We can pretty much get any dude that we want. The difference is, like, we don't have to sit here and be prideful and be like, oh, I know I could get any I want, and go on and get every you want. Like, oh, y'all don't understand how strong of a woman and how much of a evolved mentality that you really have to be. There's a lot of strength in poly women. and being a poly woman, and even being a man and wanting to be in a poly. Like, 9 times out of 10, most women want a strong man. Most women want a leader. Most women want a man who has a good head on their shoulders, who has a plan, someone who is solid. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is what 9 times out of 10 women look for in men. And sometimes y'all flip the narrative of like leadership and like a man being a man as controlling or or narcissistic, manipulative, you know, the words that y'all be using when y'all be hating on us, because y'all be on his ass, y'all be calling him all types of things. And the crazy part is, it's like, I don't even think y'all can really define narcissism. Speaking on control, a lot of women, majority, almost every woman is led by emotions. We can't control ourselves. We try very hard. Some of us are good at it, some of us not so good at it. So sometimes you need that control. You know, sometimes you need that solidity. Sometimes you need somebody to like kind of put you in your place and remember that like you're not always right, and how you feel is not always right. You know what I'm saying? And it's okay to feel certain emotions, but to act on certain emotions or to not understand certain emotions, you know what I'm saying? Because one thing that I really had to like come to terms with within the last 2 years, and this is just me growing as an adult, me growing as a woman, and we like to seem like we know it all, and it feels good to like put yourself up there on that pedestal. But the reality of most situations is we don't know it all. There's always room for growth. And as perfect as you may feel yourself to be, we'll never be perfect. We'll never be perfect to like up until the day that we pass, and whatever y'all believe, we reincarnate, or you know, we live this life again, we make it to heaven, we make it to hell. Whatever you feel, whatever you think in this life, in this physical form, you will never be perfect, and there will always be room for growth. I'm kind of off topic right now, but people are ignorant to the fact that there are other lifestyles outside of monogamy and what they were taught growing up. I don't think that a lot of people realize that as beautiful as a monogamous relationship can be, there's a lot of toxic traits that a lot of people as human beings, not even as like just being in a relationship, the way you treat other people, you have to really self-reflect and you really get to know yourself. You really get to know yourself when you're in a poly. Like, this is not to like convince you to be poly. This is not to like, you know, say why poly is better than monogamy or anything like that. Because truthfully, to each its own. To each its own. However, I think that everybody, whether you are monogamous or polyamorous, polygamous, whatever the case may be, I think everyone should have an understanding, and there's always a middle ground, and it's really who you choose to be as a person. I think there's a lot of growth that you can do just off the education. Like, you don't necessarily have to switch and be in a poly to know if poly is meant for you. Just myself as a whole, and made me realize that the beauty in life is being able to be loved, whether it's from one person, 3, 6, 9. And I've always been this way, you know what I'm saying? If you know me from the past, you know that I've always been really positive. I've always been very giving. I've always been, you know, very loving. I'm a people person, so because I'm able to understand people's perspectives, whether it be about me, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that I had to swallow as an individual to understand myself. Being able to understand why I do what I do, or feel how I feel about certain things, or why people feel how they feel about me or do what they do to me. There's a lot of self-reflection, learning to understand yourself or learning to understand other people, and coming up with a solution to make that person a better person instead of pointing the finger. I just think that people are selfish. And I think that we aren't born selfish at all. We're not born greedy. We're not born to be self-indulged. I feel like we're born to love, or we're born to give. But because of how far we are into society and what is already been built for us. Not everybody gets the chance to really understand what we're meant to do in this life. A lot of times I caught myself blaming my family or blaming my past experiences, or just blaming everything, not realizing that my mom, she doesn't even know what I know. We educate each other, and even my grandmother, even my grandfather, my past experiences, I can't blame myself or use it as an excuse to continue to be a product of my environment. Because now, as a grown adult who has a child and multiple children that I will be raising, I have to realize that I can't get comfortable with the fact that society is trying to mold us into their own beliefs. Government is meant to keep people separated. I can't get comfortable with the idea, because then I would just be like everyone else. Or, I can't find every excuse in the book to validate why the bad things that I do are okay, because I feel this and I feel that, or things that you say, like, you need people around you to correct you. You need positive examples of openness, positive examples of love, positive examples of, and I say this to say, like I was saying, it's not to convince anybody to become accustomed to the lifestyle that we chose. However, and this goes for like into religion as well. A lot of people will come to our posts or have certain opinions and use like the Bible, not realizing that for generations the Bible was written by a man and changed up for years, for centuries. It's been changing to fit what they want us to believe, because we have generations and generations of people who go by the Bible. No matter how much it changes, they won't see it. I can't believe that because this person says all these things and this is what they were taught, that it is deemed to be true. It's like, so we're just going to ignore this part of the Bible? We're just going to ignore this Old Testament that says this, that, and the third? Because the New Testament says this? Like, we're going to ignore certain people that they choose to glamorize in the Bible, to look up to, and to use examples of who we should be. Like, did you forget that this motherfucker was a killer? Did you forget that this motherfucker used to this? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think people realize, like, there's so many flaws in religion. Point me to something that I can't question. You know what I'm saying? Point me to something real. Point me to something solid, And I think that people kind of don't think about things like that because they're so caught up in, like, real life situations. And I think that things like the government, things like, just society, it's all a distraction. I think that, like, as much as people be like, oh, like, you guys are brainwashed, are we the ones who are brainwashed, or is it y'all? You know what I'm saying? Like, are we the ignorant ones, or is it y'all? Sometimes you gotta be real with yourself. Sometimes you really gotta dig deep into who you are as a person and why you're like that. If it's a parent, dig deeper into that parent. If it's the environment that you grew up around, dig deep into that environment. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's a church or a religion that you follow, dig deep into that religion and really, like, pull it apart. You have to really get to the root of certain things to understand life. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like I said, this isn't to really, like, persuade anybody into thinking that poly is the way to go, because at this point I'm not even talking about poly. At this point I'm talking about just being a good human being, what life is about. People want to be great. People want to succeed. People want to be the best them that they can be. And you can't be your best self without taking accountability. You can't be your best self without reflection. We go through in life and we like to avoid it too. Like we don't really want to elevate. We say we want to elevate, we say all these things, but then when it comes the time to actually take the steps into becoming a better you, and I don't mean physically, I don't mean going to the gym every day and eating good. I don't mean like, having a schedule and going to work and making money. Outside of the money, outside of the physical, internally, you really have to prepare to break yourself down in order to come all the way up. It's hard to accept certain realities. It's hard to accept that you can be narcissistic, you know what I'm saying, and admit to it, you know what I'm saying, because you'll have your own excuses. You'll make your own excuses to make you feel good. And it's hard to accept certain things about yourself, but you can't change without acceptance. It's hard to admit that you've been manipulative just to make yourself feel better. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we don't even realize, and this is what I mean by breaking yourself down. Sometimes you don't even realize yourself being a narcissist because you're so caught up in wanting to be right. And it doesn't make you a bad person. Just because you do bad things don't make you a bad person. Now, if you continuously do bad things, knowing that they're bad and knowing that there's other ways to go about certain things, and it's like a cycle that you just consistently go through, and if you do this consciously, you will never break it. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to talk about something and say that you want to do better and be better for yourself. It's another thing to actually do it. And within doing it, it's not going to be the best ride. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take you into an emotional turmoil. Like, you might just crash out. But for some people, that's what you got to do. I've had moments of like being down on myself because of like who I realized that I really was. Things that I had to like sit back and evaluate what makes me this way. A lot of people will do it and then use that as an excuse as to why they are the way that they are. And you won't get anywhere with excuses. You won't get anywhere with yes men. You know what I'm saying? Like, I posted this a long time ago. Like, I don't need yes men around me. I don't need people who are going to necessarily agree with every single thing that I do or I say or I feel. Because nobody's perfect. Like I said, there's always an alternative. There's always but wait, there's always like a different perspective. We'll push it away to comfort ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Because we want to be the best version of ourselves, and we think that the way that we think is the only way to think. Being corrected doesn't necessarily mean that somebody is against you. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of times where you will be on defense mode. There will be a lot of times where if someone that you love is on a different level, or you guys are not on the same page, there will be times where you feel like that is an attack. The solution to it all is like really like understanding, loving the person enough to understand them. It is hard out here. Like, when you really love somebody and you see the flaws in them and you see that they can grow, it's easy to run away from it, because you want to be self-indulged and you want to be right and you want to feel validated. So it's easy to run away, or to run to people who are going to agree with you, or people, or to nobody at all. It's easy to be alone and just be comfortable within your own beliefs and self. But when you really love somebody, you're gonna work that shit out, nigga. You're gonna understand each other, and it might take hours, days, months, years. It takes a lot. It takes accountability. It takes understanding. It takes love. It takes strength. It takes control. It takes a lot of things to make yourself become better. This video is getting very long. I want to have more conversations like this. These are kind of conversations that we have in the house that sometimes we speak out on social media about and stuff like that, but we don't really go too in depth. I'm going to kind of end this video here because it's getting a little lengthy and I have to edit it. Any of y'all, want to continue the conversation, have any specific questions or content that y'all want us to put out, topics to talk about, things to touch bases on. It doesn't even have to be that deep. It could be surface level questions. One thing about us, we'll make a surface level question and we'll really dive deep. We really dive deep into certain things. Yeah, man. This is just something I wanted to put out there. I do appreciate you if you made it this far. I am blessed to say that I am still educating myself every day and evolve a little more. These aren't things that like I just came out the womb knowing. So don't get me wrong, I'm not dumb. I'm not a dumb girl. I'm a learner. I take in a lot of information. I'm like a sponge. I really like to get into real shit. I really like to have hard conversations sometimes. Not all the time. Like I was saying, I just said I don't want to make it too long, and then I made it another 2 minutes. But y'all like, comment, subscribe, give us a super thanks. I want to get some merch out for y'all. But I'm not gonna be making all these shirts and hats and all this stuff and like this fun stuff for y'all if it's not gonna, if I don't know who really supporting, if I don't know like that y'all really out there, fucking with us. So if you don't know what that is, that's that little heart with the money sign on it. It's basically a donation. All of that will be used towards any money that's given to us, whether it's like Cash App, whether it's through social media, whether it's through YouTube, whether it's the memberships that we have on YouTube. Anything goes right back to our supporters. Like, I want to use it for merch. I want to use it for giveaways. We want to use it for meet and greets, things like that. Even if you don't have, comment down below. Let us know that y'all listening to us. Let us know that y'all fucking with us. Let us know that y'all on the way to get better, to grow. And to all the haters, go ahead and comment that shit down too. It's okay. Love it. Like, I love the positivity. I love the negativity, because anything negative can be turned into positive. You know what I'm saying? It just takes the right approach. Here I go, rambling again. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for another Poly Daily Talk. We got some vlogs coming up for y'all. We got some cars that we gonna buy. We got a new crib that we looking into. We got a lot of stuff coming, y'all. Babe's birthday is coming up, so that's gonna be fun. Y'all go subscribe to his page, Mazaya Legend on YouTube. Go subscribe to his Patreon at King Mazaya on Patreon to see exclusive content and things that we don't post on YouTube. The fun shit. We get wild on there. We get real wild on there. It gets real fun. So y'all subscribe to the Patreon. And yeah, stay tuned for the next Poly Daily Talk. Bye.